All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's morning session. We're 5 minutes open. Let me just adjust them. Right. Good morning. We got Ella and Max here. Good morning, guys. All right. I'm already down this morning. 1 hour trading gone sour. But let's kind of review where we're at for the day. We're opening up in a couple of seconds here. But what I want to just show all of you here and what the draw on liquidity is for today is last Friday we had a drop. We took sell side, right? Ever so slightly by 1 pip. There's a possibility we might drive lower. This is not like a significant rate on liquidity. But all in all, that's kind of what I want to get out of the daily here, right? Huge push, and now we're kind of pulling back here before the open. We're going to be pushing into this. This is going to be inversion daily fair value gap. Okay, so just do watch out for that level. 4 hour here. Again, pushing in these lows. We're pulling back right now. We push kind of through this inversion here. We're trading above it. We might push higher and then trade lower within 30 minutes, but just do watch out for that there. And then on a 1 hour perspective, this is when things get a bit interesting. On the 1 hour perspective, after liquidity sweep, we had a push higher through all of London and pre-New York and Asia. And right now we're going to be approaching this daily fair value gap. Okay. What I want to kind of showcase on the 1 minute is above us. If you look at last Friday or the Friday that just passed, we had a huge unfilled RTH gap, right? And this for me is the draw on liquidity and just price getting above this level and filling in this gap here. Okay. So maybe let's mark this here so we know what this level is. This is going to be the mean threshold of Friday's RTH gap. Okay. And this may be, a possible target for later on today. So this is going to be Friday's RTH mean threshold. Okay. But so far we are pushing higher. I did try to short this, but my trade pre-session was this right here, but I got can't draw it. I got tagged out here, and I really thought that this here would invert and push price lower to these relative equal lows before pushing higher to this RTH gap here. So this is where my draw is, and you can see here below us again there is a huge RTH gap of I think 180 points. What did I calculate? 190 points. So fairly large. Let's try to see what price is going to do today, but I think it's going to be going higher. We have relative equal lows below us that formed pre 930. Watch out for those. And then we got lows here as well. So here's our minor buy side, minor sell side liquidity. And we got some more sell side liquidity here. And then let's see what else we got here. That's really it. Then we have relative equal lows right here as well below us. Oh, so this right here, for me, if we can get a short to this level, I am liking this just because of these relative equal lows here. All right, so this is major sell side liquidity for me. And this is also pre-930 lows as well. So this is going to be a good key level. If we see some kind of reversal, we will be shorting it. But again, right now we're pushing into this unfilled RTH gap. It'd be really nice for price to collapse right now, go lower, take a major sell side, and then push higher again. That would be optimal. And then here is the push higher, filling this as I said before, this unfilled RTH gap from Friday. Today, I don't think we have any news. I'm double checking right now. No news today. It's a Canadian bank holiday, but that doesn't really impact NQ that much. We have yellow folder news at 10 a.m. Eastern, which are factory orders. So again, nothing really to focus on. So as always, let's wait for price to get to decent levels before taking a short. First presentation fair value gap after 9 o'clock. So far we don't have one. We got to keep waiting. Again, 15-minute here. It just breached 930 highs or pre 930 highs. And again, if price were to be going somewhere, this RTH gap is questionable here, but this major sell side here below us is very interesting. We also did push just north for all the morning sessions, so a pullback here would be nice. If we were taking a short, I'm just going to position something here temporarily. But again, we want to see some kind of reversal off of something, right? But price might keep driving higher. So as of right now, we are waiting. We have also Friday, 6 a.m. first presentation fair value gap, which was respected in the past. Right now, price is pushing into it. Maybe at, 950 to 1010, this is going to be like the golden hour here for trading on a no news trading day. Again, 5-minute here. Again, it's just, it left all the sell side below us. So I do think at some point we'll get that reversal. The price is failing to break higher through the 6 a.m. first presentation fair value gap. Again, no, not a sign to go short. What I'm liking about this PA is that, price hasn't really dug into RTH at all. It did with, 4 points or so. So again, this is nice targets later on to target. All right, so price most likely is going to be breaking above 6 a.m. first presentation fair value gap. I don't know if this is like worthy of a scalp higher. 1.5 to 1. 48.20. So I'm taking a small scalp here, long. Let's see if we can hit mean threshold here at 148.25. I'm just liking for the 50-second reaction of it. And then once it's mean threshold, I'm going to be seeing if price is going to want to revert. Again, price kind of broke above this key level here from Friday. Mean threshold. I just have to make sure that it's the right level. Oh, I lost my RTH cap from Friday. It's around here though. 148 is my level. Okay, I'm moving my stop to moving to break even right now. All right, first trade taken. Made some of my losses from the morning. Then this is where it gets a bit tricky. I got to figure out ultimately where price might turn around to start pushing to the downside. Okay. But just remember, RTH gap wasn't traded to. It just took the mean threshold of Friday's gap. We got some relative equal highs here. We got a level right here as well. And then in terms of like the 1 minute here, hold on. I think, and I really hope it doesn't keep pushing up, but we are going to have our first presentations show up again. So this here might be our first presentation in 20 seconds. So do watch out for this level. And then once price inverts to the downside, that might be safe to say that that's when we start pulling price back down to major sell side liquidity and that relative equal low that I just mentioned. But so far, this is like nice PA to one side. So these two levels here are just liquidity. On the 1 hour, we have, it's going to be breaking into this 1 hour BISI. And right now we're kind of punching through the daily fair value gap, right? It'd be really nice to see this candle like fail and start pushing back lower. So in 22 minutes, we close below mean threshold. That's going to be a very bearish sign for price to go lower. But right now, this has been confirmed as the first presentation fair value gap for Monday. And if you guys know, this is my favorite fair value gap all week. So we're going to mark it as Monday, New York, first presentation fair value gap 8.4. And we are going to mark this as a red border. Just because it has a bit more weight than everything else. Okay. All right, so that was our 2 minute trade there for quick win. And again, I am wanting to see a short. How many accounts do I manage? Just 5 right now, max, on Top Step. After my next payout, I found a new firm called Funded Next, and I'll buy 12 with them. Probably this week. I think by Friday I should get my next payout across all 5 accounts, and I'll take 20% of that and increase my account size from 5 to 18. So, but that's, to be honest, the best way to keep risk small, prevent you hitting your maximum, stop loss or your maximum loss limit, and just start scaling accounts once you have profitability versus just taking one and just going hard and blowing and just doing it again. So for me, like the trade that I would probably take is something like this, right? Price would have to, so we take this liquidity out, invert this first presentation here, show pressure to the downside, and then I'm going to be attacking it to the downside. And I'll do probably first partial here at minor sell side liquidity and second at major. So that would be my attempt to try to get price to push lower here. Could price continue pushing higher? It could, right? But we're anticipating that it should fill some of this in, right? And usually when price has unfilled RTH gaps, then it does want to fill them in. So that's like a draw on liquidity that all of you can use. How many micros we're using, sir? For that account, let's see here. Or sorry, for that trade there. Preferences. Show chart execution. So that was 5 micros for that trade. And my micros change trade over trade. During like London and Asia trading, I trade more like 10 to 15 to 20 micros. And then during New York, I scale it back down. But I make sure that my risk is always between $200 to $300 based on my confidence of the trade. So you can see here price right now. What it did is it took a level of buy side. Okay. So this high right here from Friday at 8 o'clock, it took out the high. You can see here on, the 5-minute, that has been taken, or sorry, on the 15-minute, this is liquidity that has been taken. And we're going to be approaching 950 soon. So God, am I interested in longs? Not so much. And I'll tell you where the RTH high was of Friday. If I know where midpoint is, then RTH highs was somewhere here. Right, so this is Friday's RTH highs. Okay. But I do like how the majority of this has, already been filled in, like 70%. And it gapping here would just indicate that there's weakness and it will start pulling down if it starts reverting here. But nice to see price push up higher, give us a market structure shift, break below this red green bar that I have here, and then that would be the indication to go lower. But my best advice is like take your funded account, divide it by 10, that's your risk. So for me, maximum stop or trailing stop loss is usually $2,000 on 50K top step account. So again, each trade should be 200 until you hit 2K or profit, and then you can start scaling up. So like a 3K account would be 300, a 4K account would be 400. And once you get to like 500 profits, you can start really even risking more, maybe 15%, because that's how you start scaling to higher numbers really fast, all through risk. But so far, a bullish expansion after the 930 open. It would have been nicer if this right here didn't wick down and it just kind of shot straight up. That would have been preferred, but let's keep waiting and see if price is going to give us a sell signal. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But all in all, right now on the 1 hour, we are approaching this 1 hour SIBI, 4 hour. There's a SIBI as well there. That's interesting. Okay. Right now, like the tariffs came into play last week. That's why we saw such a drive lower. A lot of fear. Crypto went down. Everything went down, really. How long did it take for me to? Years. Allah. I started trading 8 years ago, and the last 2 was where I saw profitability. Just because mostly I wasn't trading the right concepts, and I guess maybe my mentality wasn't there in the right spot. RTH highs are about to be taken, but I think once I got introduced to ICT, that really started to click, and that's when I started bringing profit and payouts. So you just can't give up. But it's been a long time. And it's just thousands of hours of just like looking at price action like this. And eventually, subconsciously, it starts getting ingrained in you. Like I know my loss in the morning today of 350, I know it was a shit trade, but I took it anyways. Just because I was so because my confidence bled over from last week. And then again, being a bit more patient allows you to, start making up for your trade. But Ella, it's been a long journey, and it's still going to be a long journey for me, right? I know ICT is coming out with its 2025 mentorship in a month and a half from now. So I'm very excited about that. I've consumed all of ICT's content. So, people usually say, hey, like once you already start making money, start ignoring ICT. But I feel like once you start learning more and applying that and seeing if it works, I think that's always something that, adds to your trades. RTH highs are about to get popped right now, any second now. This might not be the RTH high. It's around here by a couple of points, but in my books right now, RTH highs have been topped. Like another concept that ICT uses is like the midnight range. I don't use it anymore. Like I was exposed to it, but to show you guys how it works, the midnight range is from 12 o'clock to 12:30. Look at this right here. This is like a really interesting level, right? That price eventually took out, right? Triple highs, but you map the high and the lows from 12. And right now we're not chasing price higher. We'll wait for it to pull back down if it does, right? There's no news today. We're almost in the macro in 5 minutes. But here's a little concept for you guys. So you take the high and the low between 12 to 12:30, which is these levels right here. I used to have the midnight range here. And you can see how price here, like how it's respecting the mean threshold and the highs of it, right? Isn't that interesting? I didn't really, play around with it, but if you guys trade London, this is, again, something that you could use for confluence on trading. For me, I just had too many indicators, but look, the low, so high to low, mean threshold, mean threshold, mean threshold. Like, look how these candles are closing to the mean threshold so accurately, the middle of it, right? Look at these bodies, how they close. So, if you guys want to add one more indicator and back test it, midnight opening range is a sick range to trade off of, but I don't do it anymore. I just phased out of it. So price is definitely, this is an insane push high, guys. Imagine if we held this, it would have been like a 1-to-1 to like a 6-to-1. But when I'm in drawdown for the day, it's hard for me to hold trades longer, for sure. I do want to get to that break-even point. How do you find out bias? Yeah, bias is tricky, but ultimately, depending on the time frame that you're trading, like for example, like I trade usually on the 1 minute, so like the daily bias is not that important, but I always have it in my head, right? Like it's very easy, right? Price is really heading to efficiency or liquidity, right? So we took out liquidity, right? This liquidity, like on the daily, it's barely been taken. So this might be like price might draw back to it, but ultimately, we have inefficiency, we have daily volume imbalances, daily fair value gaps, and price usually pushes one to the other. So you have to look at overall market structure, see what it's doing, and try to create a bias on it. I think the easiest way maybe sometimes is to use session highs and lows for bias. So like, for example, Asia, London, and pre-New York, none of these lows have been taken, right? So these are going to be excellent levels for us to target later on, right? So you can start creating a bias around this. Once price gets to a specific level, once it gives us a market shift, again, this is going to be interesting levels for us to target. How often do we see price do this after the open? Probably 3 to 4 times a month. Very rarely that we see a push like this. But again, price right now is pushing into what? 723. I think, to be honest, the question that everyone has is, how do I create bias? I think that was one of the things that I struggled the longest with. But you can see here, my trades are so short. So my bias usually comes from the 1 minute, the 5 minute, and the 15 minute, and sometimes the 1 hour, right? But usually I don't look higher than the 1 hour. I look at daily just to see what it wants to do for the day. Before the session that I'm trading, I really try using session highs and lows. And that, I think just that should be able to give you a bit more clarity on where price is going to go. Hey, Alex, how do I normally back test? So, first you have to figure out like a concept that you want to back test, right? If that's first presentation fair value gaps, I would have like the 15 minute, the 1 minute, and the 5 minute chart opened up. There's a back testing feature in TradingView called replay mode. And I'll just do replay mode, right? So you do single chart. So for example, we'll do replay mode from right here, right? And then this is how I trade it. Like here is a replay mode. You can see this says replay here, but I'm like, okay, 9:30 opens up, based on my rules. And this is like a very easy, and this is my favorite strategy, is using first presentation and resting liquidity, like just those two levels, right? And then what you do is you ultimately move it forward. Where's that little bar that I can move things forward and backwards? Usually something should pop up that allows me to push time either forward or backwards. Oh, here it is right here, right? And then you start printing candles out. And then you're like, okay, first presentation formed. Where's the drawn liquidity? Is it above me? Yes. Okay, let's see if price is going to go back down to this level. And it never did, right? So you journal that, right? And then you start journaling like what happens when price comes back to this level? How is it going to respect it? And where's the next draw, right? Like the moment it breaks this, it's hitting this level, right? That's going to be my trade. So let me exit replay mode here. We're not replaying anything, but that's something that like, and just do this for like the last 6 months, every single day, 10-minute back testing, or do like 5 days every day, right? Between 9:30 to 10:30, right? That little small window, and just look how first presentation acts around there. And that gives you confidence into taking trades later on. And you start learning about like the draw and liquidity. After 3 years of trading, I control my emotions. The problem is I don't have any proper edge in the market. Yeah, so you gotta create an edge, right? But to be honest, creating an edge, Max, my advice to you is use key fair value gaps, okay? And that's going to be like 4 of them, right? The first one after 6 a.m., the first one after 9:30, but not on the 9:30 candle, the first one after 1:30, and the first one after 7 p.m. for Asia. And just look for bounces off of that, rejections, it trading through, and just try to find the next level of liquidity on the 15-minute chart. If you don't see it on the 15-minute chart, find on the 5-minute chart and try to back test that, Max. And hopefully that's going to allow you to create an edge. But that's like, to me, like this is like the easiest bread and butter trade. For me, like what's a drawn liquidity right now? It's its first presentation fair value gap, right? So I start seeing where can price possibly turn around and show me some kind of shift and possibly take this level out, right? So, you know, technically, that's a pretty safe trade in my opinion, but like is price going to revert somewhere before that, right? So I start mapping the 5-minute fair value gap, right? If it breaks this and retests it, that might be my signal to go short. Right now, price, what did it do? It pushed into like, look at the 15-minute chart here. So like right now, my bias is it was short. Overall, I think it's going to push higher, but like right now it's tough to trade because we're in such a premium. We pushed how many ticks right now? 126 to the upside. So like this is how I create my bias. From a 1 hour perspective, we're sitting in a fair value gap right now. We haven't closed yet, right? We will in 6 minutes. So that'll give me a bit more information of how we're respecting it. If we close in the upper half, more bullish strength. If it's maintaining mean threshold, all right, that might be sign number 1 that we're pulling back. Right here, for me, this is liquidity here, okay? So let's draw this as liquidity, right, on the 1 hour. What do we have above us here? Or on the 1 hour? This is new week opening gap from 721, which is 3 weeks ago, right? This could be a level. It might just tap and revert. We don't know that yet, right? We have to wait for more signs, but I start thinking of possible scenarios. If price is going to push higher, is it going to break through this? If it is, honestly, I think it might grab these highs here. Okay. I'm going to close out Friday's RTH highs. We don't need to see that anymore. Right now, it's going to be going into the zone right here of a lot of first presentation fair value gaps, but they are pretty old. They are from 723 and 722. And my rule is I only look at the last 5. Okay. This one says afternoon first presentation fair value gap. I don't even know what that means. So let me try to see where it's from. And you can see it's from a very long time ago. So I'm going to delete that. This is from 723. I'm not interested in that either. And then this right here, this was the RTH gap, I think, that I had drawn here. All right, that makes sense now. Okay. So I think I made a mistake early on where the RTH high was. So right now we just hit mean threshold of RTH gap. If I knew that, I think I would have traded this a bit higher to this level here, but it is what it is. Have I closed months in red? No. Weeks in red, rarely. Days in red, yes. Like once you're profitable, you shouldn't see your bet weak, or very rarely. Days, it's okay. Months, no. Usually I try aiming for at least 2 payouts per month. The goal is like 3 to 4. You can see here, price is really filling in this RTH gap. So this right here, this is Friday's RTH gap right now. Okay. But am I interested in longs right now? I'm not. I can't long in this market. For me, I'd be chasing price. And if I were to deploy this, it just means I'm emotional. Right now, price, this right here, and I'm going to mark it here on the 1 minute chart, is the new week opening gap. Okay. This right here, new week opening gap of 721. So look how price is rejecting right now. If we break above it, could we go higher? Where would we go? Maybe RTH highs, right? 721. And RTH highs is very close to this liquidity as well. So price might be actually pushing to here, right? Like if I were to be taking possible longs here, I would, yeah, just focus on those 3 fair value gaps max. Just start off with that, because there's so many fair value gaps. And for me, it was because ICT always talks about like not all fair value gaps are valid. And he put a lot of focus on these first presentation ones, and he trades away from it. And you'll see, like, once you start putting your stop behind one of these, price has a really hard time getting to it, right? Assuming that you get the draw on liquidity correct, that should be kind of like the turning point sometimes if you're in the macro. And again, max, try to take your trades between 910 to or 950 to 1010, like within the several macros that I talked about. So those are my, like, you know, if I were to be talking to like myself 10 years ago, I would tell myself that, right? So hold on, RTH highs. Like again, taking longs here would be interesting. We're about to break new week opening gap high here, and like the expectation is price going to continue to push up higher. It's tough. Maybe taking to this level, like a 3 to 1. So we closed above it. If the next candle kind of tries trading back down and fails to break new week opening gap of 821, I don't know. Maybe I might take like a half risk long. I'm just not liking that we're up so many points here, right? So we're trying to catch right now the tail end of the trade. We're just slicing through all these PDAs arrays like they're butter. In 1 minute, this is going to close here. Look up the macro PO3 setup. Yeah. PO3 setup. It's a good confidence booster and it's mythological. Okay, I will. I heard about it, right? PO3 setup. This was definitely a crazy trade today. My draw was long for the day overall, like these untraded RTH highs, but I didn't know that it would pump so high. And again, see, I hesitated here. That's fine. Whatever. Let it go. It's just that we're in such a premium that I am uncomfortable trading this. You'll never see ICT trades or catch trades like this, where it's so far into the bearish end. Like right now, we're going to break above this RTH high here. Sorry, not RTH high, but this 1 hour SIBI high. I don't even think, to be honest, like I would be targeting these lows. Like if I'm catching shorts, I'm targeting first presentation. And if price continues to keep climbing up, it just gives us an opportunity to short the lunch, right? So lunch takes away from the morning. So yeah. Yeah, longs here are Again, I'm not crazy about long. So this right here is going to be a draw for me, everyone. Okay. If we keep climbing up, I really hope for the next hour we keep climbing up, then for me, shorts are going to be high probability. Right now, we're in the macro time between 950 to 1010. Yeah, it's like, ugh, I don't know if it's a no. Like, if you guys took longs from here, I would say like it's an okay trade. I think there's an edge to it. It's just, look at where we're at. Like, look at these massive fair value gaps that we've left on the. All of this is going to get traded to, right? Don't think that is going to keep pumping up unless it is, right? But we're expecting that price is going to fill all this in and balance the market. Let's see if Trump said anything stupid over the last couple of minutes. Swiss government, we're determined to make a more attractive offer to the US. All right. So, Bryce, what do you want to do here, man? 721, technically 721. I'm not going to be trading this at all. I'll delete that. Too far back from a PDA perspective. 1 hour, extremely bullish. 4 hour, mega bullish. But you can see here overall, where's the bearish breaker here? It's right here, right? Bearish breaker. I might go into it, maybe pull back there. From a 1 hour perspective. So again, and I think in trading, you have to be patient. Like, you have to just wait for the right move. Like here, I just don't see a move other than continuing this mega long trend. But if that was the case, I should have held this trade longer today, and I would have made back all my losses today plus a lot more. But it is what it is. There's just so many opportunities. We're not gonna FOMO into the markets. The moment I start FOMOing, I lose money, and then I realize, oh, I shouldn't have taken those 2 losses. So, but yeah, hopefully all of you guys are. Is anyone here like profitable or slightly profitable or had a payout in the last month? If the answer is no, that's fine. Prop firms have been designed psychologically to throw you off. Right now, I'm looking at this negative $150. And even though it's not even 10% of my profits from Friday, it's ever so slightly bugging me, right? Saying, oh, I'm in drawdown. So the price slowed down right now. It's 10 o'clock. Maybe we might get a silver bullet push lower. But we'll get the price till maybe 11 o'clock today. Hey Mula, what's good? We're in the daily fair value gap, sitting on my hands right now. Are we in daily fair value gap? No, we're not. There's no daily fair value gap. Which one are you talking about? We're above this one. Mula, I don't see it. I don't know which fair value gap you're talking about right now. This one right here, we're above it right now. We haven't closed it. But look at this. How do you balance risk and reward in your trades? So number one, I'll probably say divide your account up into 10 pieces. So you can take 10 trades until you blow out. Step 2 is do not take 1-to-1s. I would say aim at least for 2-to-1s. And then assuming that you're only right like 40% of the time, you make money. Oh yeah, this one, yeah. So that's the one that you're talking about is like a blue bar. Oh, it's right here on the 1 hour. So I don't know. We'll see. We closed above it. Price is chugging to the upside here. Right now, like if I'd taken this trade, I think, you know, I'd be at break even right now. But again, like there's like that explosiveness, like all that juice looks like it's running out, right? It would be nice to see us close below New Week opening gap, invert that, and then push lower. So here's like a possible trade here. If price doesn't continue to, you know, go up, right? It'd be like this. Okay. So price fails to push higher, gives some market structure shift, changes direction, breaks below like this fair value gap, below the New Week opening gap, retests it on the 1 minute, fails to do so, pushes lower. That trade, you know, I'll take. Would it be a 7-1? Sorry. Probably like a 5-1, I think. Like once I get myself in. And those are the trades that we want to take. Because like if you take like 5-1 trades, you only have to be right like 25% of the time, right? And once you start putting your stops behind like first presentations and stuff, you'll see that like your edge plays out more often than not. And you just really start, you know, pulling these trades. A trade that I hesitated on today was this one right here. I'll show all you guys, and you guys can look at it. So remember about the 4 key presentation or first presentation for value gaps I talked about? Look at the one today from 6:19. That was today's first presentation, and I incorrectly drew it. There it is. And look what price did today. It broke below it, broke above it, created relative equal highs, broke below it. But look how nicely it's respecting here, right? Like, see, like this is what first presentation does, guys. It's very key fair value gaps, okay? Pushed lower. And then once it pushed higher and it pushed into it, I wanted to take a long here, but I hesitated. And this would have been a great trade, guys. If anyone, like this right here, like back test it, right? Relative equal highs. Here's our draw. Here's that like iron wall here that has been created from price. It rejected it. And most likely price is going to do what? Push higher. And that's what it did. When did it do it? Right before 8:30, right before the macro. And then look what price did again. It went back lower, respected. Here I tried shorting to this level, but I got tapped out. I was off by maybe like how many ticks? Like 2 like stop loss. Maybe I should have my stop loss about the recent highs, but it is what it is. And then price ultimately pushed up higher, created some relative equal lows below us, right? So we do have levels below us that we will be targeting. So that's how first presentation from 6 a.m. traded today, guys. Today is a slow stream. Hopefully we get something around like 10:50. I'm gonna stay on until like there's a nice trade. I'm not giving up right now. Okay, all right. We are pushing. So this here, this looks a bit sus, right? Like this looks like liquidity to me. So I would not be shorting here. So I'm gonna write liquidity with a question mark. I think it's gonna get tapped personally. It might drop if it inverts this, but this, I am not liking this high. What did it do? It's like, what is it rejecting right now? It's rejecting the upper half of the SIBI here, right? The highs. We still have liquidity above us. Again, I'm just thrown off by it a bit. Around 10:30. Yeah, sometimes Ella, right? You know, technically, like, look, price pushback. Just having a stop here is like I'm putting my stop at a magnet. It would be nice for price to do this, to be honest. Like this, then drop. Right? On the 5 minute, look at us here. Can you guys see the 5 minute? Yeah, you can. I'm not blocking it. So right now, this 5 minute is pushing into this fair value gap here. So let's see if it closes below it. Again, that's more confluence that we're going to drop, right? And I wouldn't want to see, like, if price gets here, it's going to get there, right? Right now, price closed. Not convinced here, guys. But right now, you know, on a 1 minute perspective, we're attempting to close below. Right now, I'm just seeing how it's respecting all these levels. Like this is just throwing me off, guys. It would be nice for this candle to close above. Like if this closes above new week opening gap, I think it's taking these levels here. It's just this here is it's too smooth, right? Too smooth. Like I would like long this to be honest right now, like a long position. Like here, I'll do a 3-pip long just because I don't think we're going short from here. That's my position long, just because there's like an 80% chance we tag this now versus dropping lower. Again, very small. Nothing too crazy. But like this is sketchy. Moving my stop to mean threshold of this wick here. Shouldn't come back down there, right? So my stop is right there. Did you guys see this? Like this was a fake out in my opinion. It just needs to break this right here. This is like the last level. It needs to just pop through. You can even move your stop loss to mean threshold there. This is definitely an aggressive trade, guys. I'm just anticipating that it wants to take this out before dropping lower. Like this is way too smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles that just never broke previous highs. All right, and then my stop loss, I'm gonna move it below. Do I want to move it right now? I just want to get wicked. Right there. Once it gets to like 90%, I will move to break even. Just in case if it wants to turn around and create something weird before pushing lower. So let's see this, if this is going to work out here. Your insurance, you're fading me. All right. Is AFXNJ going to be right, or am I going to be right here? 50-50, right? But I do think I have the edge here. But again, I just might blast through and leave this open. Right now, my risk is 100 here for 170 win, so pennies. But just to prove a point here that I wouldn't short leaving something like this here. All right, these closures are kind of freaking me out a bit, right? It just needs to pop higher. Once price on the 15-second closes above this high here, my confidence goes a lot higher that it's going to push these RTH highs here. And it might do that in the next 15 to 30 seconds here. The price right now is pushing on the 15-second chart above this inversion high. Going to close in 3 seconds. 2, 1. It closed. Okay, I'm moving my stop loss now to break even. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it go below there. And now we just let it rip. And my entry was a bit higher, actually. There you go. It's a 1-to-1, guys. Again, do I risk a lot on these? No. But it's like a little fun. Are you not going to take me out? Come on. One more tick. We're in partial no 3 here. There you go. Dollar in profit. All right, AFX and J. I hate to be right. I hate to see you lose money on this, but you don't short away from highs like this. I am in. Max, what are you in, man? Oh, in that long? All right, so we're 2 for 2 right now in the live stream. Do I trade better Sundays on live stream? Sometimes, because you guys force me to take cleaner trades. Let's do a continuation with remembering. Silver bullet. To be honest, guys, confession, the silver bullet, I know the least about. All I know is first presentation after 10 a.m. on the 5-minute, and you take a trade against it to liquidity. That's all I know about it. I don't really trade it. Maybe I do, but silver bullet is something I'll look into, guys. I promise, and I will incorporate it in some examples. But there's just so many ways of trading ICT that whatever works, right? There you go. So this trade was something like this. I will be right back, guys. Give me 30 seconds. And before I come back, if you guys are enjoying the stream, feel free to drop a like. All right, I'm back. We're back for blood, right? Put on some soft lighting here. So, Max, what was that trade there? I am in. I'm curious. Was that this here that you guys took as well? Like this long, this quick 1-to-1? All right, where's price going to? We're fairly bullish on the 1 hour. This here, this price I'm liking. This might be, I have a feeling this is going to be our 11:30 trade. First trade on funded tick. That's profit. Thank you. Ah, glad, man. You're welcome, Max. Previous day highs at once. Let's see here. Maybe. Right. Like this volume imbalance, it might be trending to it. But before it does, I want the lunch macro to do damage and then push up higher to take it out. That would be ideal, right? It's like, did I ever see just price just shoot and wonder? It just happens so rarely, once a month, right? So if it happens, it happens. All right. On to the next. This liquidity has been taken. To be honest, see this here. This I'm liking. All right, for like a possible, like once it starts breaking below key levels, that's when we may be looking for shorts. But like, just look at signatures like this, right? Like that, like that's like a somewhat smooth high, right? These 3-minute 1 candles that all close below this level here. But when it comes to low probability days, Monday no news, in my opinion, you guys shouldn't trade it. The reason why I trade it is because I'm scalping everything, and I just want to get my daily wins for max payouts. But they can do a lot of damage to you. So like if you're not profitable, like this is what I would say. Don't trade Thursday pre-NFP. Don't trade Friday. CPI and PPI, don't trade. Don't trade FOMC after 10:30. And Monday's no news, I wouldn't trade it. Also, don't trade days after large expansions, okay? Because usually it's consolidation days. I would not trade on those 5 key days, and that should help you with your profitability because price, as ICT says, is very fickle on those days. And unless you're experienced and unless you know what you're doing, you're going to get chopped out. So those are like the 5 days that, or how many I mentioned that, in my opinion, I would ignore as like a novice trader. I just started this year. Just if, and by trading, I mean like don't click a button, but feel free to do tape reading. I think that's great. So all in all, guys, what are the rules of lunchtime? The rules of lunchtime are take the first low as a target after 11:30. All right, price is hovering. The price isn't really doing much right now. Why isn't it doing it much? Does anyone know why? The answer is, drum roll, look at the time. It's all about time, guys. Price is always about time. When did I take this trade? Right after the macro, very close to it, right? The macro bled over into it. Is that a real thing? I don't know, but usually around this time is when I trade, right before it or right after it. 9, 10. If you guys haven't watched any ICT material, watch it all. Start with 2024, then watch 2025. Read his or listen to his Twitter or X 4-hour podcast. Like, become addicted to learning. And you guys will be profitable eventually. All right, price is, this. I like how it took out this liquidity, then pushed lower. Like, that's nice to see. This technically here is like another like liquidity little hotspot. You can see price hasn't really pushed higher after grabbing this liquidity, kind of like, failed to push lower. But let's see if maybe on the 15-minute chart, we get a close below the new week opening gap. Again, like we're just looking for these little cookie crumbs to give us confidence and direction into taking a trade. This inverted to the downside, broke through it. I love what has been going about is they seem about knowing when not to trade. Just like exactly, that's it. Like that's it, man. And being honest, the majority of my losses is I'm not trading because price isn't clear enough. It's not in the right time. And usually when I do those things, I take the trade, I lose, I get triggered, right? I'm a human. And then there's a chance if I don't control it that I get 5 more losing trades within like the next 10 minutes, trying to make back that money. That's like the death cycle that you guys have to ignore. So yeah, as Bell said in chat, it's all about, it's time, then price. Now let's see what price is going to do here. It looks like we might be pushing lower, but just look at this 5-minute fair value gap here. I would want to see this invert, show us levels on inversion, and then maybe that might be the trade to the downside there. We've traded the majority of the RTH gap from Friday. Like right now we're sitting just below the last quadrant of it. Oh, sorry. We're in, yeah, we're just below the last quadrant. If that stays open before the push down, we can see that as a breakaway gap, right? It's giving fuel to the downside. But all in all here, just if you look at negative confluence, this is very bullish, very bullish. Everything's very bullish. But again, price has to be balanced, or it should be. That's your anticipation. And if you look at the overall dealing range right now that we're in, right? High to low on the 1 hour, right? We are right now in a premium. So again, taking longs here. Could price continue to push higher and bounce off this mean threshold here on the 1 hour and push all the way to this liquidity? Yes, it can. Will it? I don't know, right? But we have to wait for things so that our I don't knows turns into price is probably going to do this. Let's put some risk behind it. It's higher than 2-to-1, and let's take a short. Right now it's 10.25. Is it the right time right now for price to price? Is it right now the right time for price to push? No. So price right now pushed back into the new opening gap of 721. This short is going to happen. It has to. We just have to be patient here, guys. I might even trade till like 11:30 today. Ever ignore all the charts and just went with your gut, Max? No, because if you want to be profitable, you have to be confident. Be confident, you need a strategy, and you need a strategy that works. So, in my opinion, I feel like that's like gambling ultimately. And you can't do that in charts. Like you have to have signs pointing to a direction before you take a trade. It's like imagine going with your gut and just being wrong, and then you're like, oh, I should have followed my rules. Right. That's something that would really hurt. And then you start going into like the death trap of just blowing your accounts. Because you went with your gut and then you're waiting for like a C plus setup, which fails. And then you're like, okay, I'm just going to take anything right now just to make it up. Can't go in the. So don't do that, guys. Do not go with your gut. Unless you're like profitable through back testing on like gut reaction, then maybe that's like your own type of trading, but you can't do that. Look at this 5-minute fair value gap here. Look how it's being respected right now to the upside. Okay. So we've pushed up ever since 9 o'clock, 9:30. We're hovering now, right? But is this a sign to go short? No. 5-minute isn't saying to go short. 1 minute's not going to say short. 15-minute, it's slow. Everything's slowing down though, which is good, but it's not giving us signs to go short yet. So we're waiting. To be honest, 10:50. We might have to wait another 20 minutes. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. There's not much happening now. I'll tell you that. What I'm seeing price do right now, see this high right here? I have a feeling it's gonna get nicked. Very smooth. Price is consolidating right now. Like this here, this is all consolidation. We haven't really left from this range over the last couple of minutes, but I feel like if we are consolidating, it's gonna tap out these highs. All right. Seeing a bit more bearishness now. 1030, right? Look at this new week opening gap here. Okay. So price right now, again, it's the right time now. Like 1030. I don't like trading around 1030. So you can see here, like there's slight bearishness here on the 1 minute. You can see it. Let's see on the 5 minute how it's going to close. So right now it's closing below the opening gap here. All right. Market structure shift would be right there, right? So if we break below this level, that's going to be an MMS, right? And I do want to see us breaking below the new week opening gap of 721. This might be a bearish. Could be. So we took out liquidity. We pushed lower. Again, it would be nice. It would be really nice for price just to pop up higher, tag this, and then start pushing lower. That's a risk. Like if we're taking shorts, then that would be a risk that we would be privy to here, right? New week opening gap still holding a price. Look at the 5 minute here. It might close above mean threshold, right? Right now we're waiting, okay? We're still waiting. I really hope nothing shows up in the next like 20 minutes. And then we get our setup around 9:45, 9:50. That's when my confidence starts going up and we're going to start pushing to a direction. And if it shows us that we're pushing short, then we'll short. See what you guys said here. Let's see here. 9:56, do you see it as a breaker? Give me one sec, guys. One sec. Nothing's happening right now, so don't worry about me missing a trade because it's not going to happen. Sorry, guys. This household's crazy. So another rejection off the new week opening gap. You can see on the 5 minute. This here, it's showing really nice respectiveness to the upside, right? This last 5 minute candle is going to show us another bullish response to this 5 minute fair value gap. For me to take shorts, this has to invert here. Okay, this blue level. Okay, that's like if you look at ICT and I look at all of these the fair value gap here, that's really standing out to me is this 5 minute one. Okay, and I need this to be inverted because right now I see price being pushed up here. Right. So now we just wait a bit longer. We have still, 10 minutes left till 10:45. price. See, shorting here. Like, look what we're doing right now, guys. We're consolidating. There's nothing. There's nothing here. And answering your question, Ella, I don't see it as a breaker. It's not like for me, for there to be a breaker, you know what? Technically, Ella, you're right. Like this would be like a really sloppy breaker. Like here's the, like, yeah, like once it breaks that low, that would be, it might be even like the 952 candle, to be honest, as like the breaker, as like that would be the swing there. But again, I'm like maybe on a 2-minute. See? So if you go on the 2-minute chart, I think the breaker's a bit more obvious. Like this would be the breaker here. High, and then if it finally pushes lower, but it's just, I'm not loving what we're getting right now in the 1 minute. So we're waiting. There's nothing here as of yet. And we might even consolidate here and then push higher, right? That's always an option, but we'll be seeing for signs of reversal. So if I see it close below this, it coming back up, failing to push and closing below mean threshold, it might even be a 5-minute trade. I don't usually trade 5 minutes, but like just taking something like this above like a high and then just 8-1. Partial out at first presentation. If not, try to target 930 lows, right? That's definitely a possibility as well. We're still waiting. How many trades do you take a day? Usually, I think I average 3. If I have like one large profitable trade, I might add one more. If I lose, I cut. If I have 3 small winning trades, I cut. Usually after 3 losses, I cut. Like once I hit 3R in one day, that's when I start walking away from the charts. But again, it depends, like around 3. And it depends like how many sessions I'm trading, right? So today I traded the pre 930, which I lost. I had 2 winning trades in like after 930. And then if price doesn't show me like a reversal, I'm going to trade the 130 and I will be shorting at 130. I'll tell you that right now. Because, you know, price right now, it's not giving us much. The easiest low to hit is the first one after 10 o'clock, like when we're trading the lunchtime. Like this is going to be the easiest target to hit trading lunchtime macro. Okay. But we're not far from it, right? So again, the anticipation here is that when it does pull lower, it's going to pull at least the first presentation, if not to RTH high of today. Yep. PM. Yeah. All of it. Sometimes even Asia, to be honest. Asia the least. I'd probably say 5% of my trading is Asia. The majority of it's 930. And then if 930 is not clean, 130 will be clean. Like that's usually the pattern that I see. This is some garbage. Yeah, we wait. Nothing is happening. See, we're not on the right time and nothing's happening on the charts. What I'm liking on the 5 minutes is this right here. These relative equal lows. That I'm liking. I'm liking, these are also relatively equal, all these lows here, right? So this is nice to see. above us. Again, this here, again, it's smooth. Okay. This here, relative equal highs, right? If you're aiming to put a stop loss above here, be careful, right? It'd be great for price before for 1050 for it to just to tag this, aggressively reject lower, close below us in the 5 minute, and then that's your short. That's like an A+ setup for me right there. So so far, no rush. We're not rushing here. I'm just gonna go pick up a smoothie from downstairs. Give me 1 second. All right, it's looking good, guys. So far, it's looking decent, I think. Let's see how the 5 minutes gonna close here, okay? That is the most important. Okay. 1 minute till we close like this, to be honest. From a 1 minute perspective, I'm not loving these highs, but so far it'd be really nice to see this close lower, and it's right now 10:45. It's the good time, and now we just wait for a nice entry here. Okay. CFD funded accounts. I don't know. Well, whatever top steps accounts are. I just have top step right now. That's it. Are they CFD? Maybe. Okay. 44 seconds till this candle closes. This is going to be your confirmation here. Okay. All right. It'll be nice to see like a relative equal low be left here. I'm not talking a lot. Sorry, guys. But let's start getting active right now over the next like 40 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Nice. This low I'm liking. Hopefully in the next 8 seconds I see it close below this fair value gap. This for me was definitely holding up price. All right. Number 2, I'm liking that. Okay. Number 3, let's see if we can get some kind of reasonable pullback and rejection here, right? So mean threshold, to be honest, a 5-minute trade. So what I'm not liking about this is just this right here. Like this. Like this is like a negative, okay? If there were to be a negative to the trade. We are in a premium. Would I be taking a short from here? No. To be honest, if it gets to this level, I might take a short, and then I would have my stop right above this 5-minute high here. I'm expecting that price is going to get higher. So let's see if price can just pop back just a little bit on the 1 minute, and we'll get in. We're 3-1. I just took out all these relative equal lows here, so careful. We close below the new week opening gap on the 15-minute chart. I just want to see a pullback. That's it. That's all I want to see, man. I'm not loving these relative equal highs, but I'm assuming that price won't get back out there because we closed below this very well respective 5-minute fair value gap. And that's why my stop, it's going to feel protected at that level. Okay. Scaling in 3 here. Right. And as it pushes higher, it'll scale in a bit more. It'd be really nice to see a fair value gap form here on the 5-minute. It's like a 5-minute play here. 1 minute's a bit messy, to be honest, guys. We just look at relative equal lows here. So now we're anticipating that it's going to pull back here and then take us lower. All right, scale it here. Where's my average entry? Right there. Okay, I'm risking 200 on this trade, and I am targeting RTH, or first presentation, highs at 146.50. 146.50. 146. Okay. I will scale in more into it once it rejects this level and pushes lower. So remember, the one downside is these relative equal highs here. This is like I'm going to call it a B setup. Again, there is negative confluence against me. But again, I want to see this candle. Again, possibility that it might just take me to my stop loss, but I am anticipating that it's going to pull back from here. And again, we have just so many relative equal highs above us. All right, I am most likely wrong on the pull here. Macro in 2 minutes. Stop. Okay. This is probably going to be a loss for me here. I'll let it hit my stop loss. Relative equal highs above us. That's fine. That was a crazy 5-minute bullish response here. I do want to see this 5-minute close below mean threshold for me to consider another short. If that's not the case, then the draw is going to be higher, not lower. Amateur of me, to be honest, looking back at this. This is a very bullish rejection of the 5-minute fair value gap here. It just took relative equal lows and just pushed higher. Price is leaving engineer liquidity above right now. We are in the macro right now. I'm even seeing longs as an option right now. But we'll see. There's no way that price is just going to leave these and just drop lower. You're kidding me, man. 28 pips. It's some bullish PA guy. BS PA, not bullish. The left relative equal highs. It's pushing lower. It's pushing into this. There's bullish 50-minute fair value gap now. Let's see here. The 1 minute market structure sucks. Like I would be shorting again right now if we took out these highs here, but we didn't. Where's the new opening gap here? Let's have that mapped on the 1 minute. 5 minute looks messy. 15-minute looks like, unless this is a target to push up higher later on here. Here I'm gonna short again here. $146. 146.25. That's where my stop is. Above this. Above this level right here. Above mean threshold of this 5 minute presentation, which broke to the downside once again. That for me was like manipulation there. I was surprised I did that, but let's see here. And then my entry is a bit lower. So it's going to be like a 2.6 to 1. I'm liking how this candle just touched the new week opening gap 721 and just dropped. That was nice to see. We are in a macro now. Five minute looks good. It's looking very bearish for a quick response lower. The reason why I don't want to push it past this level is just because of these highs here. But this is going to be, if we do push lower, this is going to be our next target here, okay, for quick longs. So my stop loss is still here. Here is a bearish breaker. Do watch out for this 15-minute fair value gap here. I'm anticipating we break below it, and once we do, The next 4 minutes, I think it will close lower. So again, there's negative confluence factors on this trade, but the RR is fine. We're in the macro. First presentation hasn't been traded to at all today. That should be the draw. We're in lunchtime right now. It's taking away from, so there's a lot of bullish confluence factors. We're taking it to 14650. 14650. Right. No, we just wait. This is probably going to be my final trade for the morning. Take us home, baby. Show us some love and Q. I'm liking how on the 15-minute time is spending in the lower quadrant. I just wanted to close below mean threshold here. So we're below so we are respecting the bearish breaker here. It's not really a bearish breaker, to be honest. So we never got this high here. So let me remove that here. I just would be shocked if price just goes up all the way up to this level and pushes higher. Yeah, 15-minute BISI, exactly. Yeah. Here, I am gonna attempt it to close here. I'm removing my risk by 50% now. I just don't want to see it come back up to this level here, above the new week opening gap high. What level is this here? 322.50. And I'll let it play out right now. The reason why I'm stressed here is just because there's so much negative confluence in this trade here. Moving my stop loss here, it's $140 now. It's 50% of what it was initially. This was a $300 trade to the downside. And right now with this risk here that I have, like 140 against 500, I'm okay with that risk. But I wouldn't be able to stomach price or my stop loss sitting up here anymore. And 15-minute looks 15-minute looks brutal right now. I am going to close off the trade. Hold on here. Move my stop loss aggressively now. Instead of closing it off, I'm going to trail it tightly. Just 15-minute looks really bad right now, guys. So I'm risking $100 right now. Confidence here is very low on this trade. Just being honest with you guys. Okay. My stop loss is right here now. I'm going to be taking out any second now. I think if it pushes up once higher, I'm out for minus $6. Either $6 or 500 per account. That's going to be the trade synopsis. The 15-minute is just freaking the F out of me right now. There you go. I'm out. Break even. The reason why the short is just so, just look at the 50-minute chart right now. Very uncomfortable holding shorts. To be honest, guys, shorts right now, I'm not loving anymore. Just because of this 15-minute, just because of this 1 hour. We'll keep trading till 11:30 here, and we'll see if we get something. But not loving. Like longs technically make more sense right now after this 15-minute rejection here. Took out these relative equal lows. Market structure shift to the upside. Relative equal highs. Like for me, like that. But again, there's just negative confluence to the upside too, right? So, and when I'm seeing something like this, I think I have to sit on the sidelines, to be honest, guys. We're below the new week. Unless I see something like dramatic, highs being taken, a push back to the downside, maybe might take it. But today's Monday, no news trading. So not much is that. So when it comes to high probability setups today, my thoughts are this here is something I want you guys to target. And to be honest, the longs, maybe something like this. It's just, I'm not comfortable in shorts right now. That's the issue. this here is showing me that bears are having an issue breaking this 15-minute bearish SIB or bullish SIBI. The 5-minute looks bearish in my opinion, but what do we have? This disgusting level of liquidity here. And then on the 1-minute, it's very messy. I think we might reach this level. I'm not confident in it, but I'm more interested in longs and shorts. So like that's my answer, to be honest, for today. Tough session. And even if price drops from here lower today, and my short would have been valid, I'm not going to feel bad about that. It's just I did not like the higher time frames that support lower time frame. But seeing like a reversal around here and pushing it up, I'm okay with that, right? So I'm not going to participate in this move lower, which might happen right now. Guys, I think I'm going to close it a session. Not much is happening. This is some brutal PA. So let's do this, guys. I'm going to give some time back to all of your days here. I do not see, like, this is just it's really bad PA right now. We're just finishing up the macro. And here's my opinion here. Overall, I think we're going to head long today. We do have to push lower. I think we have to fill this first presentation fair value gap from today. It could be now. These highs are great levels to hit today. Maybe afternoon session. Amazing. Okay. And then just watch for price to dig into lower even. It might push in lower to the first quadrant of RTH highs. Okay. But like now I'll just be trading just to show you guys something. And there's really nothing like, I think it's a gamble, to be honest, right now. I think it's going to go lower. This looks really bad. And so those are like the key levels. So today's first presentation for a draw, RTH highs for a draw. Look out for these relative equal highs here. Like this is a draw on liquidity as well. It isn't a premium. So I think longs today are the high probability trade, not shorts. So let the shorts happen without us. I think that's fine. And just grab the longs instead. Okay. So we're closing it off at 2 wins, 1 loss on the live stream. Hope you guys learned something. And I guess I'll stream tomorrow, guys. So take care.